Hi everyone, Agnes here, and as promised, the three ladies from the Have Your Say videos and I are doing this little brainstorming session about their desires, and we're going to go through and break down the mechanics, come up with ideas, and hopefully those of you that are listening to this who have got similar desires can get some good nuggets and ideas for yourselves to then be able to move forward towards what you want as well. So person number one, beautiful lady Patricia from Brazil, you are first. So we're going to start with your desires. You had two very specific ones. Number one, dream job, and number two, long-term relationship.
Yeah.
So what I wrote down from your video, Patricia, you said a few things that gave me a few ideas for you.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you said was there is a high unemployment in Brazil.
Yeah.
You also said that, I mean, you are qualified, you have a degree as a biologist.
Mm-hmm.
And you also said, I be keen to look at my negative beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
As in, because you mentioned other people have got those jobs and you think, well, if they got them, it's possible for me, but there might be some negative beliefs there. So tell me anything you want to tell me, and then we'll break things down.
Okay. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I have some questions about these desires. One of them is people usually have many desires to manifest, right? And I don't know if I'm too concerned about money, about salary, about jobs, but I only think about to manifest a dream job and a good job and a high salary, how I think I deserve, you know. Well, I think everybody needs money and wants to have a good job, to work on a good environment. And in the past, I have worked in the bad job environments that made me feel sick, even sick, you know.
Yeah.
So my first question is, what is the most effective to concentrate in just one big manifestation, or try to improve several aspects at the same time?
Okay, good question. I think because we often have more than one important desire at the same time, like lots more money and a dream job go together, and also wanting to be satisfied at work and wanting to have a satisfying, meaningful relationship. Those things are the same underneath both of those desires. Being satisfied, being happy, being relaxed, being free, because when we don't have enough money, we don't feel free and we feel quite stressed. So, or when we're doing a job that we don't like, we're feeling trapped. In your case, you're saying you haven't got the job yet and you've seen other people get the job. So ask yourself the question, because I do think you can manifest both of these simultaneously if you work on what's underneath, which is going from dissatisfaction to satisfaction for the relationship and the job. Or having the thought of this high unemployment in Brazil, that can be a handbrake to you getting a job. So what you can do is say, and you mentioned that, that.
I think I have this belief.
Yeah.
You know, unconsciously maybe.
Yeah, and that's understandable, because that feels like the reality of your country, your city at the moment where you live. And but then you go, okay, how do I shift from seeing that to not making that important? So you go, okay, if I just say to myself, there's low unemployment in Brazil, your head's going to say, no, that's not true, because it's not a fact. It's not going to believe it. It's too big of a jump. But if you say to yourself, okay, I'm aware there's high unemployment in Brazil, but all I need is one job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have to negate or argue with or try and change what's going on in terms of work in Brazil. But you can say to yourself, irregardless of what's going on in Brazil with employment, all I need is one job, and there's the perfect job for me. So you start to pull away from, write stuff down as we go if you need to. So my perfect dream job is there for me. I am deserving, I am worthy. And I would work on, I'm first best too. Or I belong there in the perfect job. I belong there. Because when you mentioned in your video about that you have other people that you know that have got the biology degree and they've got jobs, what it's putting you in is second best position.
I'm not good enough, or I don't have all that needs a good job.
Yeah.
All the necessary to have it.
Yeah.
You think unconsciously, maybe I think that way. I'm not deserving, or
maybe not that you're not deserving, but that other people have been more deserving than you first. Okay.
Yeah. For a long time, I thought I'm not a lucky person. This is very negative, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a lucky person, not in work, not in love life. So of course my life is not it's not good, you know.
So I'm at the right place at the right time for love and job.
Yeah, other powerful affirmation that I think I read on your book is God makes the way, there is no way.
Yeah.
So, because I think to work here is very hard, you know. So I need to believe that universe or God will make the way.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I did? I'm going to just show you something while I've got you there. Where I was living before, when I was traveling a lot back and forth, I wasn't in London for more than 3 months, and I wasn't in Australia for more than 3 months. So I had a small apartment in London. Now, then the pandemic hit, and I was trying to travel, and it was really difficult during the pandemic, and sometimes not possible at all. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get myself to London, and I'm going to stay there until all of this is kind of easier to travel. But because I was in London longer, the apartment started to feel really small because I was there more than 3 months. I was there for a year. Anyway, I thought, I have to get out of this flat. I feel like a rat in a cage. I can't stand it. So what I did was I wrote a list and I put it in my office on my pinboard. And I just wrote down very clearly what I wanted. So basically all the things I didn't like about my old flat, it was clear what I did want. Like it had no outdoor space. So I wanted an outdoor space.
The opposite.
I wanted lots of, so I would do this very same thing and do it for both topics. So do one of these for each subject. And you're really clear. So right at the top, my new dream job. And then right at the top, my amazing, meaningful relationship, or whatever words you want to use.
But confronting what I had in the past on a job before and relationships, or just imagining a dream job and a dream relationship
Well, I think you can just imagine a dream job and a dream relationship, but whatever job you had that you didn't like, whatever relationship that you had that you didn't like, that will give you a lot of don't wants. Like me with no outdoor space, I knew I just had to have an outdoor space. So do the same. Use past things to get your list tight and clear.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. And then you can also pick things that you just know you want. Like you might want, a relationship with a man who is from a particular culture because you love the food from that culture and you've always wanted. In terms of a job, you might have a specific company that you like and say, you know what, I've always wanted to work for that company. If that's the case, that's okay. Write down much information on your little list.
Okay.
So, and then what you do is you just look at it, you go through it, you just read it once a day while you're, staring out the window, having a cup of tea. You might have it in the notes on your phone. Just read through and then go, oh, if I had that right now.
Feel the sensation, right?
Yeah,
it's
you're trying to
feel. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned on some of your videos, you do affirmation while you're walking, and you repeat hundreds of times. It's necessary hundreds of times because it's kind of tired. I don't know.
I find if I go for a walk, I'm walking anyway, so you can easily do 1,000 affirmations in an hour because it takes about 30 minutes to do 500. Now, obviously, you might not go every single day for a walk because you've got work or whatever. But I find the people that get the best results do at least 500 a day, 4 to 5 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, Patricia, when you do an affirmation, do one affirmation like this is the best job I've ever had, and you say that one 50 times or for 5-10 minutes of your walk. You don't have to count each one if you're going to walk for an hour, but just say, okay, I'm going to do this for 10 minutes, I'm going to do the next one for 10 minutes, I'm going to do the next one for 10 minutes, and just keep track, but do one affirmation over and over. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, because I was doing like this. I was writing down some affirmations, about 15 to 20 affirmations, and read it 3 times a day.
Okay.
And I had some results. As I said to you, I'm having some affirmations like I'm a lucky person, happy coincidence happens to me every day, life is magic, and some crazy stuff keep happening to me, like promotions, discounts, I found money on the street, crazy things. So there's a little results until now, so
good.
Okay.
Now, if you enjoy that, keep doing it. If you find like, oh, this takes so long to write. See, I know when I used to write them out, I used to get tired of it because it takes a long time. Whereas walking, affirming for me was easier. So it depends on you. You choose what feels better for you, which way you do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So the other question is about what you're talking about is small results make bigger with time is passing. It's the results, you see bigger results with time passing, because now I have discounts and it's fun. Every time I go out of my house, I think, okay, let's see what crazy things will happen today, because it's like magic. Indeed. But there is small things for now, like I found a subway ticket full, or some money on the streets, or I was looking for a book and I just touched a book and I just found it. The exact book I was trying to find was amazing. This was amazing. but there are small results. So how about a bigger small result?
I think it's building your confidence. So as you do the smaller ones and you see a result, then you get more confident. And then you go, okay, now let me do something that's a little bit bigger. So I find building it up slowly in stepping stones is easy. Now, I'm not saying you can't jump from finding $5 on the road to manifesting a house. You can, but it's big jump in you, and doing it like this in stepping stones is easier for your belief system to stretch.
Okay. Okay.
So
Nice.
keep imagining the big things, but it'll take sometimes a little while to believe it. That's all. So don't give up on doing it. Don't give up on the big things.
Okay, I will. Because we think, in my case, I don't know about Kathleen and Sabina, but in my case, I think I was thinking about I'm not a lucky person in my love life and my work field for, I don't know, 30 years, and so it takes some time to revert, right?
It does. It does, because you're going against your childhood beliefs, often your cultural beliefs, then your country's beliefs, and then your ancestors' beliefs as well. So it's like all of this contributes to what we think and why we think it. So it's becoming aware of what it is that has shaped our beliefs, and then saying, you know what, there's things about my culture I love, and there's a few beliefs about my culture I don't love. So, or about the country I live in, or about my family, you know. So I think as you become more conscious and aware of what your beliefs are, especially the beliefs that have to do with what you want to manifest, a good little exercise is to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to, looking at your second desire, long-term relationship, you go, okay, if I want this and I don't have it right now, let me look at what beliefs do I have about men, what beliefs do I have about relationships, and what beliefs do I have about any exes or men in my family. Where am I? And I'm not talking about, you'll have some positive ones, but you don't need to write those down, because those are working. You're trying to identify the negative ones on the subject of relationships. So once you get your list of negatives, then you go, okay, hang on, where did I get that from? It might have been, you know, seeing not necessarily your mom and dad. It might have been your auntie and uncle had a really bad divorce. You know, it might have been you that had a bad relationship in your teens, and then it made you feel really insecure and horrible for 5 years. So try and find where they came from, and then you can go, okay, this doesn't serve me. Now I'm going to do the spotlight meditation, do some inner child meditation. I'm going to look at my list and I'm going to flip them into positive affirmations. And I'm also going to write a script, which is very clear about what I desire.
Okay, nice. So another question that I have is, we have to be sure exactly the job dream to manifest it, because I don't.
No, not necessarily. You can write a general list. Like, I remember when I was in my last job, which was retail, I hated waking up with the alarm clock. I hated driving to different locations and getting up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I hated working in noisy shopping centers. And I actually got to the point where I didn't like people, because the public is just, it's just, I was sick of all of it. So I wrote down, okay, I want to wake up without an alarm clock. I'm sick of driving all over the city. I want to work from home. I don't want to leave the house. I want to stay home. And then I looked at, I wanted to work in a quiet environment, because in the shopping center, there's always this booming loud music. And I wanted to work with people one-on-one instead of being bombarded with people in a shop. So all the things I didn't like were what really helped me to get general. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what industry. I didn't know how I was going to, like, it was like, do I start a business? Do I work for someone else? I had so many questions that I didn't know the answer to. I didn't know what industry or what location, what kind of company. I had no idea. So what I did was I just started with a general list. And from that general list, then it got easier to look online. And I did some of those, I mentioned them before. They're actually little tests that you can answer all these questions, and then they tell you what you would be good at.
Yeah.
So I'll put the links in the description for those, Patricia. And then if you want to go and try some of those, they're just free little career course questions. And then they say, okay, you got a really high score in this. That means you'd be excellent for this industry.
No, you know what? I love biology, and I need to work with something related to biology. That's all I know.
Okay.
So a job position, I'm not sure about it, because as I mentioned on my video that I sent to you, I was working on scientific experimentation.
Yeah.
You know, and we have to work with animal experiments, and I have to, you know, I won't describe it because it was horrible. So I don't want to work like that with those things again. But I miss a lot to work with something related to biology, to study I see myself studying biology again, reading a lot again, you know, but I'm not quite sure of the job position. So, you know
what I would try? Just go to Google and put in, what jobs can I do with a biology degree? And see if anything comes up, and start to look at what's possible.
No, I have some ideas. I have some friends who work with job positions like that, but I'm not sure. Okay, well, what's the best that's coming for me, you know? I try to think that way. Okay, the perfect job is coming.
That's the way. And also, you know, if you know that there's people that you know that have biology degrees that do different jobs, maybe ask them, what do you do every day? What do you do? And then find out which one of those jobs would be interesting for you, because some of them you might go, oh, I don't want to do that. You know, so find out a bit more about, what do they do every day? What do they really do?
Okay. So I think a lot about to manifest the dream job, a lot, and to have a happy relationship. Of course, I desire this, but it's the second place, you know, because I only think about the dream job. I'm too, I don't know, maybe I'm obsessed. Do you think it's normal, or it's because I'm preoccupied, worried about money, and this is more urgent to me? I don't know if I'm just worried about money, of course, because we all need money to live, or I'm kind of obsessed. I don't know. What's your opinion about that?
Well, I think it's good that you're putting the dream job before the relationship, because if you say you meet someone now, you still got this preoccupation with. So in a way, you're trying to get yourself settled and ready. Once that's off your mind and you're going to work,
peaceful, you know, to live. Because I think I'm too worried.
Yeah, and I understand. It is worrying when you don't work. It is. Even when you do all this law of attraction stuff, it's easy to worry. You know what I would do? There's a meditation on my channel. It's called 15 minutes surrender and letting go meditation.
I will write it down. 15 minutes.
Yeah. Surrender. and letting go meditation.
Okay.
Whenever you start thinking about it too much, say, okay, I've got to let this go. I'm too obsessed. I'm starting to get worried. I'm starting to get tense. I need to trust God, source, and say, no, you have the perfect job for me. But it's letting go, because your body gets really tense when you're worried.
Yeah. And I can't sleep sometimes.
Yeah.
And
I know. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything wrong with you wanting the job before the relationship. I think it's a nice change that you want it in that order. And, you know, if you can write down, say to yourself, okay, I'm going to use this little exercise of writing down any negative beliefs I have about men, relationships, any exes. I'm going to use this little exercise to take my attention away from the dream job for just a, you know, half an hour or whatever. And I'm going to think about something. So, and then the surrender and letting go is good for both topics, you see,
Okay.
because you're trying to get into an allowing state, a relaxed state, a free state, I trust you, God state, faith, allowing, letting go. That's where you got to try and go to and say, you know, God, source, whatever word you prefer, I know you're looking after me. I trust you. I trust you. And that's what faith is.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. That's good. Hopefully that gives you a little bit to work with, Patricia.
I will work on.
Yeah, that's it.